Boo! Markie here. So, holidays are coming, holidays are coming. It's interesting, in America, people talk about holidays. That means seasonal celebrations, whereas in the UK that means vacations. So somebody as American once asked me what my favourite holiday was, and I went on for hours about certain places I used to go to as a child, and and what they wanted to know was, what do you mean Christmas, Easter, or Halloween or whatever. So Halloween's becoming a big thing these days, very controversial. So much in that I've got a video on the origins of Halloween, which is an old one. I've managed to kind of schedule that so it goes out on my Patreon channel on Halloween. But I can't really. I haven't worked out how I can replay or re-upload videos from the past so that you can see them again. So have a look for it. At some point I'll put a link to it down below in the description box. So yeah, Halloween getting big now. It's a whole lot behind that, because Halloween means different things to different people, radically. So for some people it's a bit fun. For many people it's a bit fun. For a lot of people it's making money, increasingly so. More products are being sold for Halloween, now than ever before. For a lot of neo-pagans, Druids, Wiccans, heathens. It's Samhain. It's the seasonal festival, so it's a sacred time, and not an evil, spooky time. That's what, if you want to know more about that, look into my video. And for some people, it's like quite fundamentalist Christians. They actually see Halloween as most see it, I think, as probably just a bit of fun. Some see it as something actually quite dark and sinister, and an attempt for the devil to kind of become more normalized in our society and kind of creep in through the back door, if you like. So I like Halloween because I like spooky things, and Halloween used to be a bit of a work event for me, actually, because I used to run ghost tours. So I've done some of the videos on that, which I'll try and link when I get a chance to. So I was always kind of putting on kind of extravaganzas for Halloween. Yeah, so whatever it means to you, and also it coincides with things like Remembrance Day, which I think is interesting. Not by design, so it would seem, but it's a touch of remembrance. That whole season is going into the darkness, and it's an appropriate time to remember those who have passed on in whatever way. So I thought I would, off the back of the success that I had with the questions I did on ADHD, I just thought I'd see if there are any requests for anything you would like me to talk about for Halloween, because I have an interest in the mystical, the spiritual. I'm very interested in the psychology of the mystical, and the psychology of the spiritual, and the religious, and the paranormal, and where all these things kind of meet. How much of these things are to do with us as people, how much of them to do with the mind, brain, culture, and how much are they to do with things which are genuinely unexplained, or currently unexplained. So I like to think I have some interesting views. Of course I think my views, everyone thinks their views are interesting, especially people with really boring views. In my experience, I like to think that I have maybe a slightly different take on a lot of these subjects, and I think very broadly about a lot of these subjects, and in very, I wouldn't necessarily say scientific, but in a very objective way. So for example, I've done a series on demonic and spirit possession, and I've looked at that from 100 different angles. I've looked at it from a medical angle and a psychological angle, and then I've looked at it from the paranormal and the spiritual and the religious angle, and said, well, okay, if this is a demonic possession, and it is possession by a demon, what is a demon? And let's look at there could be kind of 20 different explanations and theories around that. So I come at things from a kind of a theoretical point of view, not from a kind of me telling you how it is point of view, because I don't know. These things are unexplained, so how can I explain them? I can't demystify the unknown. but I kind of demystify human thinking on some of these subjects. So I've already done stuff on UFOs, I've done stuff on ghosts, I've done stuff on ghost tours that I used to do, I've done stuff on demonic possession, I've done stuff on anomalous big cats, and probably some other things that I'm forgetting. But if there's anything, you know, that you want me to give an opinion, there's some things I know more about than others. So, you know, I mean, there's always new things, aren't there, that come out, you know, so there's, you know, things like, or new names for old things, you know, like people talk about glimmer men and shadow people, and, you know, we've got the Men in Black and the Black-Eyed Children, and, you know, there's so much kind of stuff, really. So if you want my thoughts on any of these things, spooky, dark, scary. I've done a video on Satanism as well, because Satanism isn't necessarily what people think it is. Black magic, yeah, ghosts, demons, paranormal, anything of that kind. Anything that's beyond the norms of current knowledge. I'm happy to kind of talk about. There's something, like I say, if I don't know so much about a subject, then I won't really say very much about it, and I'll kind of change the subject and talk about something that I do know a lot about. But fire the questions in, really, because even if I don't know, I might be able to find resources for you on that topic, or put you in touch with somebody else. So there's, for example, there's a brilliant channel that I follow called the Spooky Isles, and they have some great guests on there, so they may be able to answer a question that I'm not so familiar with. So hit me, don't hit me literally, hit me with questions, and like I said, I'm not going to kind of try and answer them like the all-knowing, all-seeing, but I can share you know, current theories and kind of explore some of these things in quite some depth, hopefully, depending on what you ask. Or if you just want to ask something Halloween related, you know, if we could have a bit of fun as well, you know, it doesn't have to be, you know, you could just ask me about, you know, who my favourite TV or film vampire is, or because I love horror films and you know, stuff like that. I've done some reviews on things like that. You could ask me stuff about yeah, fiction as well. You know, we could have some fun, really. Yeah, so please give me as many questions as you can, and I will attempt to get back to you either on Halloween or very shortly before, so you haven't got hugely long to fire those questions off. Thank you for watching. Rangimarie.